What's going on, everyone? It's time for another horror slasher film review. Today we're actually going to review the final Nightmare on Elm Street film in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, Nightmare on Elm Street, the 2010 remake. It was released by New Line Cinema April 30th, 2010. It was written by Wesley Strick, Eric Hesserer, produced by Michael Bay, Andrew Form, and Brad Fuller, and directed by Samuel Bayer, who only did like music videos before this, like Green Day's Bullet in a Bible, Marilyn Manson's Coma White, The Rolling Stones, Anyone Seen My Baby, and Green Day, Jesus of Suburbia. This had a box office earnings of $117.7 million. This was in the peak of, this was released in the peak of the big remake boom. Platinum Dunes was producing a lot of them. They did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Friday the 13th, and of course they had to remake A Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, the remake is basically a story of a group of teens living on Elm Street where they start getting stalked by a killer in their dreams, and named Fred Krueger, and who is actually a child murderer, and they learn of his misdeeds with the children, and the parents go out and basically murder him, and he seeks their revenge by coming back in their dreams and killing them. Overall, this film has a more darker look and feel than the original. It does. They cut out all the comedy out of all the other ones and try to make them as serious as possible. And yeah, the gore effects in this are actually not too bad. The kills can be cheesy and hokey looking, and yeah, so the effects wise are pretty good. The cinematography is actually pretty good in this too. Same with the music in it is actually not that bad, but the story itself is very convoluted and just random. There's a lot of random scenes in this. They try to introduce something new where you daydream while you're somewhat awake and semi-conscious. You dream, and that's how Fred Krueger also in this one comes and attacks people, which was an interesting, cool new device for the franchise, but if you don't have a story to go with it, it doesn't work. And yeah, this film, it just falls on all levels. Characters are paper thin in this. There's nothing there. It looks like half the cast didn't even want to be in this film. And the Fred Krueger character is so serious and just like cold-blooded that it just doesn't work for it. It's basically they're trying to make it darker and creepier. Instead, they made it more dull and mundane in that sense. The guy who played Robert Englund did not come back for this one. They had to get a different guy, and I think he was originally supposed to be the original Fred Krueger, which is a good thing that they didn't cast him, because the franchise would have been a one and done in this case. The guy who plays Fred Krueger doesn't even like horror films or the originals, but he did this as a payday, and you could definitely tell it's all monotone and just bland and dull, and yeah, his performance is so bad that they even overdubbed his voice for all of it, and yeah, it just makes no sense. This was also heavily reliant on CG, and where it wasn't really up to that par at that point to make it super effective, and it looks really cheesy and stuff in scenes. And for the most part of this film, it's a drag. It does try to go look back at Fred Krueger's beginnings and why it happened, but then he just randomly kills teens throughout as well, and it just makes no sense. It's it's slow, it's dull, and it's a complete waste of time. This film is pretty terrible. It's probably one of the worst remakes out there, next to April Fool's Day 2008 and the Prom Night remake. This is probably one of the worst. So I'm gonna give A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 a 1 out of 5. It had some pretty cool practical effects and a good cinematography and music, but that doesn't save the film if you don't have a good story, characters or even a good direction in that matter. It's just convoluted mismatch of scenes, and it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, but that's what I thought. If you want to actually check this out, if you haven't seen it, it is on Netflix right now, and I'll link the trailer down below, so you can check it out there. Also, make sure you check out my Instagram, so I post clips of films and review in the future on my story. I usually put the film title in there and some history thing in there as well. And also my Letterbox down below, JP Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating after watching the films. And my Twitch down below, _Derek. So follow me on those platforms. Stay in the loop with this channel. Like this video, share it to more people who are. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. If you have any films or film franchise in any genre and on any streaming service that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below too. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can and if I can find them. And let me know what your favorite A Nightmare on Elm Street film is down below as well. And make sure you subscribe. Hope you find some weird, obscure, and odd that I probably never thought of checking out together. And also show you my opinions on popular films. So I've come out classic films and reviews on other things as well. And don't forget to ring that bell because we're going to do an action thriller. It's advertised as a comedy, but it's not. We're going to be doing the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare in the next review. So make sure you tune in for that. Watch out for all the killers haunting our dreams and destroying the cinema. And I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So until then, cheers.